Hello YouTube, Annabelle56 here, and here we have my old versions of The Hobbit. This is quite an early version. Look at this drawing. It's an actual drawing, an early sketch by the author. So there you've got Smog, and this is like an early version of The Hobbit book. It's actually done. Let's find the date. Sorry, this is taking so long. This is 1966 edition. And it was first published in 1937. Wow. That's a long time ago. And this is my version of Lord of the Rings. It's tinky tiny print. It's all 3 books in one. When was it? Actually, it looks like without the cover on. Let's try and see if we can find when it was published, if I can. First published in 3 volumes, 1954 to 1955. So those are those two. I love the cover of this one. It's just beautiful. Okay, and of course here are the Peter Jackson films of Lord of the Rings. There you go. Very familiar to us, no doubt. Okay, so here are my Narnia books. Just want to tell you that Tolkien and C.S. Lewis were part of the Inklings group at Oxford, and Tolkien actually he respected the Narnia series, but he didn't actually like it because he didn't understand like C.S. Lewis's use of magic within them. He thought they were too simplistic. But hey ho, I mean, Lord of the Rings is sort of 14 plus audience, and Narnia is sort of from 7 to about 13, so they're completely different audiences, and they're a great introduction to fantasy, I think, C.S. Lewis is. Let's see if we can find when these were published. First published in Great Britain, 1955, these ones, so yeah. And this one was published in 1950, and to Lucy Barnfield, that was the child it's imagined for. So I think they're really, really great books. I really do. They are just completely original and one of a kind. And I love the fact that in Harry Potter you can see their influence, and that it bleeds into them. Okay, the next one is controversial, but I am going to mention it. Because you've got Tolkien is Roman Catholic, and you can see that very much with his use of the Lady Galadriel. There she is, played by Cate Blanchett, in there. And it's also to do with World War II and getting over that as well. And I think Narnia, C.S. Lewis is for a Christian apologist, but he's also written from a Protestant perspective. I think you've then got Phillip Pullman, and his series is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. It is fiendishly complicated, so I'm going to say you should read these from like 14 plus, because some of the concepts in them are just truly amazing. Northern Lights got made into the Golden Compass, which is its USA title. What is it with America and taking our titles? Like Philosopher's Stone. Oh, they don't know what a philosopher is. We'll call it Sorcerer's Stone. Because that works. Not. Poor Nicholas Flamel, who was an actual alchemist, by the way. It's like, so Nicholas Flamel, yes, he made the Sorcerer's Stone. Nicholas Flamel in the afterlife, palmed faces, is like, no, it's a Philosopher's Stone. The poor man. Northern Lights. I would recommend reading The Subtle Knife first. I know that sounds completely weird, but The Subtle Knife is written from Will's perspective, and Northern Lights is written from Lara's. And Will comes from our world, so it's easier for you to get into the world through Will, because Will's discovering a lot of it for the first time. I read The Subtle Knife first, then I read The Northern Lights, then I read The Amber Spyglass, and to be absolutely and frankly truthful, can't remember a lot of it, only that they don't end up together. Sorry, major spoiler. It is huge. It is phenomenal. The whole idea of like having a little creature that has is your soul, and your soul is outside yourself. It's kind of like a Patronus, but a permanent Patronus. I love the fact that children's souls aren't set so that animals can change. There's some really, really great ideas. He does attack organised religion in the books, but I think that that's good, because you should be able to criticise organisations, even if they are religious, because no organisation is perfect. Only God is perfect. And Jesus is perfect, if you believe that, you know. So, all organisations are man-made and will have faults. That's just the way life is. But they made the Golden Compass, and they did that really well. And then they didn't make the Subtle Knife or the Amber Spyglass, and that was due to the fact that in North America, people didn't go see the movie. But then again, you kind of get that, because North America is a deeply, deeply Christian country. They're hugely moral over there. It's, I guess, for people who live in Europe, and especially in the UK, America is kind of like stuck. It's a 21st century country, but with almost Edwardian/Victorian morals. But then again, if you think about it, if you live in a country where you don't have a direct sort of organised authority line, yes, they do have the president, but the president is just a person, then your last kind of line of defence would be your holy book. So in America's case, it is the Bible, because they've not got a king. So I'm guessing that that's why. And they also like more conformity over there, whereas like in the UK we're kind of allowed to be ourselves more, because we are like, oh, I'm English, I can do this. And it's not like because anybody's told you so you can, you just assume it's like it's fine. Like in America, they're in like Washington DC, I believe you have to park your car in a certain way, and if you don't, you get a ticket. Now to me that's crazy, but I guess for them it's really important. But for in the UK, you told somebody in the UK to do that, they tell you to jog off. But I guess they would grudgingly do it eventually after they'd calm down. But it would still kind of them see silly, but hey hey. And you'd think for a limited space island we'd be more accepting, but I guess not. So yeah. So there we go, we've got this, and I'm gonna skirt round briefly the creationalism of like C.S. Lewis and the evolution of the Amber Spyglass, but really that doesn't really come into it very much. It's broader and wider, and the Amber Spyglass, oh, there's my foot. The Amber Spyglass, I think, is more about leading a good life. Wouldn't it be better for everybody if everybody just led a good life now? Than kind of like waiting for this wonderful afterlife that we're supposed to get if we believe. And I can see where he's coming from. I mean, you're alive now, live a good life now. That's a great message. It's like, yeah, you should live a good life now, because nobody is 100% sure that they're gonna live after death. And I think that's an important thing to state. But then again, that's what faith is, isn't it? It's a belief in things unseen. So, and there'll always be doubt. So you never can know. And I think that these are great books of exploring that and dealing with that. I love the fact that Frodo fails in his quest, because Frodo does fail. But does he fail because he has Sam there? If he didn't have Sam, Frodo would have given up the ghost long ago. But it is a sacrifice. Frodo's sacrifice is huge. So Elira and Will's sacrifice is huge. And they do the right thing. And same with Harry's, Hermione and Ron. Their sacrifice is huge. But they kind of... Their sacrifice in a way is huge, but also for them, their sacrifice is not less painful, but it's not as costly. Frodo's costs him his life. Lyra and Will, it costs them being together. Sorry for the spoilers. The pensive kids in the end get killed by a train and end up going to Narnia, so it's a huge cost. They lose their earthly life. But then again, I guess that's what it is about. If you go on these religious journeys, you're losing your natural man, the earthiness, and becoming a more spiritual being. Harry's sacrifice is his life, his whole being, up until the age of 17, is to destroy Voldemort. So it's sacrificing his childhood or his teenagerhood to defeat this guy, which is huge. But Harry's, in a way, it's a sacrifice that is shorter, whereas Will and Lyra's is for the rest of their lives. Frodo's is his whole life. Harry's is just for that moment, and once it's done, he can live a full life. He's not hampered in the way that these are by the costs of it. There are costs, but a lot of the sacrifice within Harry Potter have been paid before Harry was able to speak. A lot of it has been paid by other people, like Dumbledore died to save him, his parents died to save him, Sirius died to save him, so on and so on and so forth. So it's like Harry's just doing the last little sacrifice, and then once he's done his bit, he'll be able to live a full life that everybody wanted. He'll be able to have that freedom and liberty that everybody was fighting for. Okie dokie, enough babbling. Hope you've enjoyed. Next video is going to be on Star Wars. So, bye!